Springs. We are the DynaBrass, and we'll be with you for the next 45 minutes or so. Here we go, off our brand new release. We'll send it out to each and every one of you here in the hall early. Here's one called Polka Grove. da whoa, da 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 whoa. When I was just a little boy, I didn't have any toys. But my mom and you two you got more than other boys. You may not be good looking, you may not be too rich, but you'll never ever be alone, 'cause you got that lucky lips. I've always considered lucky lips. I'm always good. Lucky lips will always find a pair that's so true. I don't want there you go. That's one called Lucky Lips. And once again, welcome here to Polka Fireworks 50th anniversary. And right now, how about a big round of applause for Tony Blazlenchuk.
My apologies, I couldn't get up here fast enough to introduce these guys. But how about a nice round of applause for Joe Zaleski and the DynaBrass that has won the Song of the Year this year, Chase with Male Vocalist of the Year, and our Polka Hall of Famer, Joe Zaleski, and they're going to be entertaining you this afternoon and evening, and they're going to be back at the pool party tomorrow morning. So if you enjoy what you're hearing, come on out to the pool party. So no more, here's Joe and the new DynaBrass.
Thank you, Tony. Here we go for you off of our In the Heat of the Night recording. I would like to do this one for Kevin and Judy Kwiatkowski back there at the table. All our friends that are here from Toledo, Ohio, Toledo Area Polka Society, Madam President. She just gave up her reins, so we're going to do this one for you once again off of our 1992 release. This one called I Lost My Girl.
Idzie drugi, a nie widać światła, a górkę zapomniało na słowa kochanka, a górkę zapomniało na słowa kochanka. Na trzeci rok góra wraca, ma nadzieję w sercu, że się z tobą pochować. Ślubnym kobiercu, że się z tobą pochować na ślubnym kobiercu. Dzisiaj inny pies. Oh, there you go. That's one called I Lost My Girl, Polka. All right, we're going to go Obedic time right now for all the Obedic dancers in the house. Here's one called The Fragrant Roses, Obedic.
Czerwone różeczki i będą was kierały. I choć mnie on odrzucił i nie będę płakała. I czerwone różeczki i zakwitnie mi piękne. I kurczę mi korole i to mi serce zmyła. I czerwone różeczki i zakwitnie mi piękne. Moje ryże i śliczne moje kwiaty i zakwitliście pięknie około mojej chaty. I smutne różeczki i czerwona słoneczka i ja wieję się smutnie bez tego połameczka. I smutne różeczki i czerwona słoneczka i ja wieję się smutnie bez tego kochaneczka.
There you go. That's one called The Fragrant Roses, Obedic. All right, we're going to get you up to polka time right now. Here's one off of our 2020 release. I'd like to send it out to all our friends here from Western Pennsylvania. If you're from Western PA, make some noise. Here we go for you off our 2020 release. This one called Every Day at My Place. Co dzień mnie są, namawiają wciąż, bo poznamy orkiestrami tak. Ja nie mówię nie, ja nie mówię tak, ale w sumie żoneczki mi brak. Wiadomościem już stary. Są jeżeli znane sołe, i z muzyką odgadują, do wesela się szybią. Codziennie są, namawiają czas, poznamy orkiestrami gra. Ja nie mówię nie, ja nie mówię tak, ale w sumie żołnierski brak. Wesele się szykuje. Codziennie są, namawiają ciąć, po Poznaniu orkiestrami gra. Ja nie mówię nie, ja nie mówię tak, ale w sumie żołnierski brak. Codziennie są, namawiają ciąć, po Poznaniu orkiestrami gra. Ja nie mówię nie, ja nie mówię tak, ale w sumie żołnierski brak. Thank you. That's one called Every Day at My Place. We're going to keep it polka time for you right now. We'll do one off of our all-in recording, and especially for Angie, who always asks for this tune. Here we go for you. Chase on the vocal. It's one called Angel of the Night.
Hey, Angie.
Walk in the door, all my senses gone. You brightened up and on the spine, you know what is going on. Closing time, you were by my side, you winked and I and said, for the moon is full like an empty glass, I rested on my head. And it's a crying shame, I didn't need to catch your name. You took my heart and the story's gone. And it's a burning shame, we might never meet again. So hold you in these arms of my angel of the night. The morning light, it hurt my eyes, still bursting in my ears. With the paper note that you had wrote, told me you disappeared. No tears to cry, no sad goodbye, no words of farewell. Just a new road, thank you, no stories left to tell. And it's a crying shame, I didn't need to get your name. You took my heart and the starry sky. And it's a burning shame, we might never meet again. So hold you in these arms of mine, my It's a crying shame I didn't even catch your name. You took my heart under the starry sky, and it's a burning sin we might never meet again. So hold you in these arms of mine, my angel of
Alright, there you go. One called Angel of the Night. Alright, we're going to do a tune for you right now. We had a note sent up to the bandstand requesting the Green Dress Polka off of our latest release. And we'll send this out to Jerry and Jerry Solivoda. They're here with us. Thanks for the request there. Here we go for you. It's one called the Green Dress Polka. Happy Louie original off our latest recording. That's one called The Green Dress Polka. All right, we're going to put Chris to work on the vocals for you right now. We'll do this one for all the waltz dancers. They need some